Ashwini. Hi, how are you? Am I audible? If you could just message me, I'll come to know if I'm audible. Hi, am I audible? Can you just message me back or just send a comment if you could let me know if I'm audible? Yeah. Okay, great. So yeah, hi Ashwini, how are you? Long time. Great. So we'll just wait for another few minutes for some people to join and then we'll start the session. Yes, it's been ages actually. Situation is such, one day also feels like it's a long time it's been connected. So this topic is quite interesting. I guess you've already been working a lot on this topics. I hope you have some takeaways from the session today because there's a lot how we work with the smoothies. So I'll try covering all those aspects today. So some combination ideas, some how do we actually work on mixing and matching and coming up with these smoothie combinations. So I think I'll start. People can just keep joining in. So the topic for today, of course, is smoothies for beauty. A quite unconventional kind of a topic from the beauty perspective, but this is what we are trying to touch base on, like how everything all together comes, is kind of together to create who you really are. So which also means it doesn't just only mean beauty, but it also means you as a whole, your appearance, your emotions, your health, how you look and feel, everything comes together. So we don't actually differentiate between optimal health and beauty because this is what it is at a deeper level. But of course, since we are specifically touching base with this topic of beauty from different perspectives, the adjective that I will be using is beauty, but then it applies to all areas of life of you as a whole. So smoothies for beauty, this is a personal I would say practice that I have been practicing for last 10 years, and the results have been phenomenal. I cannot just focus much upon how it can just completely transform your entire personality, not just the body and the skin, but also your moods and how you start to feel. It's a long process. It's not something that will happen in a day or so. It's something like you start living this way of lifestyle, and then over time you realize a lot of things start to change for you. But before I get deeper into this topic, I think I would because I guess we have some new joinees this time, so I would really want to create some awareness around what are we doing in Swarasya. So of course we are a skincare brand, but we are our thought process is not just limited to skincare. We talk of skincare as self-care. So when you talk of external care, of course it is about your skincare, but when you look at broadly at who you are and over times how you change, it's not because your skin is changing, it's because something inside you is changing, which is also showing up on your skin as aging signs or skin issues or even chronic skin concerns like eczema, psoriasis, so whatever you would want to name it. But it's everything coming, brewing from the inside, showing on the outside, and it doesn't happen in a day. It's something that is a very slow and gradual process. And as we start to get into specifically for women, as we are in our late 30s and 40s, is where we actually see a big hit happening to how our hair starts to change, how our skin starts to change, which wasn't or may not have been the case maybe few years back. And then we wonder what is it that changed, because 2 years back my hair was good, my skin was good, and immediately something starts to change. So it's a lot of it is happening inside the body, but I don't think this is the right topic for me to cover right now. Of course I'll be covering this topic also later in one of our sessions, but today's topic is about smoothies, which also covers all these aspects that we are talking about automatically become a part of this topic. So the 5 dimensions that we are covering is about it starts with foods. The first dimension, that's Swarasya, that we talk about. So your beauty is based on you as a whole, as I just mentioned. It's about your physical self, your mental, emotional, spiritual self. Everything comes together, and this is what we've kind of divided it into 5 different dimensions. We look at beauty from 5 different perspectives, which cover all these 4 aspects of you: physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual. So so how we talk of it under Swarasya is, nourish is the dimension which is outside you, which is about, you know, what is it from the outside that you take in, which ultimately becomes you and has a great impact on how you look and feel over the years. Then we talk of body work, which is you on the outside. So it's about everything, be it exercise regime or your self-care regime or a skincare regime or even your sleep, because you know, human body is not just about activity, it's about balance between activity and rest. So sleep becomes very, very important when we talk of, you know, living ageless or having that ageless kind of a skin or beauty, and even health. So, you know, as I said, the beauty is the adjective that we use, since this is what we are talking of under our brand. But whatever I talk today is not just limited to beauty. It's because things are changing within. Of course, your skin is also changing. So when things are changing within, it also applies to your health. So the third dimension is about emotions. Again, a very, very important topic. We hardly ever think of this aspect as an important aspect of how we look and feel. I guess we've done some workshops around this, which are like very depth, and we've just tried to relate how, you know, how all these aspects come together to give you the specific skin conditions that you may be facing. So if anyone is interested, please go ahead and look out on our Swarasya YouTube channel. We have all these sessions recorded there. Then the fourth dimension is self-realization, which is more about you, which is about, you know, how do you perceive yourself, how do you see yourself, how do you see yourself maybe 10 years later or 20 years later, how do you plan your life today so that whatever life you want to create for your coming years, ultimately you are able to create that. So this is the aspect of self-realization. And the last dimension that we talk about is energy. So ultimately, at the depth of it, it is all energy. You talk of foods. Of course, modern nutrition looks at it from the nutritional perspective, like, you know, carbohydrates, proteins, fats, and all these aspects. But if you look at it from a holistic perspective, this is a very very superficial way of looking at you. The depths lie in how you feel. It's not about how you look or what kind of nutrients are you taking, what combination of nutrients are you taking. That's all at the superficial level. It will start to work deep within you only when internally things start to change, because this is where your skin cells are working. This is where your cells are getting all that nutrition and oxygen through the foods, through the activities, through the choices that you're making on a regular basis. And this is what transforms you. On the outside, it is equally important. Why? Because skin is the barrier between outside and inside, and we are exposed to a lot of pollutants, a lot of radiation, a lot of you know, so whatever is happening on the skin will also show on your skin. Whatever is happening on the outside will also show on your skin. So skin is a place where whatever is happening on the inside or what is happening on the outside collectively will show on you as a whole. So that's why, you know, thinking of skin from both the perspectives becomes very, very important. Not just skincare but self-care. These go hand in hand, and this is what the philosophy of ancient sciences has always been all about. You look into Ayurveda, you know, it's all about working on yourself internally, and through certain practices you get deeper into yoga, and you realize yoga is not just about asanas. It is about bringing yourself as a whole, you know, following certain practices, getting onto certain kind of asana regimes, or doing something for yourself that helps you clean yourself from inside. So this is exactly the premise behind this topic as well, smoothies. So smoothies, what are they doing? They are actually helping you cleanse from the outside. This is what the Ayurvedic practices are also doing to you. This is what even yogic practices or yogasanas are also doing to you. But when we combine all these areas together, all these efforts together, and you start to live a clean way of life, rather a cleansing way of life or a detox way of life, not just getting into a trap of 2-day or 3-day kind of a detox, but start to live a detox kind of a lifestyle, which is something that becomes you for you know, for years to come. Like, you start to live that way, is where you create agelessness. It is not a you know, a spa treatment done once in a month, or it is not about following a diet plan or going ahead with a calorie plan, losing weight, and then you think everything is okay. It doesn't work like that. It's a continuous effort that you need to do with yourself. We start with the foods for two reasons. One, because my personal journey started with the foods. I was not aware of all these concepts. It is only when you know, I was studying all these things, and I was incorporating all these things that I was studying in my lifestyle. And because I was studying foods is where my journey also started. Because I was studying foods, obviously I was incorporating specific patterns of foods, specific ways of cooking, specific ways of understanding the combinations and everything all together, which started to bring a lot of transformations in my own self. So what I bring to you today on the table is not something that's very superficial that I've read somewhere, or it's a very, very practical way of life that I have lived for last 10 years. I have seen the results, I've given the results to our clients, and this is where it's become an approach for us now. This is where we are trying to bring about all this awareness under Swarasya also, because this is powerful. This is very, very powerful if you learn to start, or start to live this way, or learn how things come together. So coming back to our topic for today, smoothies for beauty. Okay, so smoothies, as I told you, it's all about foods, and what we are covering today is basically our dimension number 1, which is about nourish. So foods come under this dimension of nourish. Foods, of course, we know are, it's something that we have always been very, very particular about, and specifically for women, we are more aware than ever today about what kind of foods should we be consuming. What is it that will make us lose weight? What is it that will make us gain weight? Is for the people who are low on weight, and such cases also come to me, so that I just spoke about that. And then it's so foods is something that I guess about 50% of our life, from the food perspective, we end up thinking, what is it that will keep my weight off? Is there any specific product that will help me do these weight loss programs, or weight loss diet, or a calorie diet, or a fat diet, or a protein diet, right, for me? So so which means when we talk of foods, there is a specific way how we should be looking at foods. And I can just tell you one thing: fads is not the way to go. Fads is for short term, of course, yes. If you're looking for some quick results for specific health conditions, then fads do work, but fads do come for a specific reason. But other than that, if you adopt fads as a lifestyle, and if you think that fads are going to be your aid for a weight loss for a very long time, for life, or so, fads do not work like that. Rather, they end up giving you a lot of imbalances inside the body. So, and it goes along for every kind of fad diet, whether it be a mono diet, or a protein counted diet, or a calorie counted diet, or a paleo diet, whatever you name. So when we think of foods from the beauty perspective, the approach is completely different, and that's the reason a lot of women, despite of being on to best kinds of foods, like we are including a lot of raw stuff in our diet, we are high on salads, we know how to cook, and we are very aware, like what we should be consuming, what not. Still, we are not where we should be. The results are not what we want for ourselves. So why is it so? Again, a different topic to cover, but again, when I talk of this, to automatically be some part of what I've just talked about will automatically be covered under it, because of course we are talking of the deep insides, what is happening inside the body. So let's start with the topic for today, smoothies for beauty. The very first thing, and this is one practical question that I come across with a lot of clients when when I put them onto specific kinds of smoothies for their specific health conditions: what is the difference between a smoothie and a juice? So I hope a lot of people might be aware of this, and for the ones who are not, it's very simple to understand. Smoothies is just the blend of combination of fruits and vegetables that you bring together. Okay, so in juicing, you kind of strain away the pulp, and you just drink the hydration part of those specific ingredients that you're using. But in a smoothie, everything is coming together. It's if you're using spinach in your smoothie, if you're using apple in your smoothie, if you're using even lemon in your smoothie, so we do not waste anything. Even if it is a lemon, the lemon peel will also be a part of that smoothie. And I keep posting a lot of stuff around this, so you must have seen, like the peels and everything are very much a part of whatever the smoothie combinations that even I do, and which you should also be practicing for two reasons. Because Indian diets, and it has been scientifically proven in research also, Indians are very low on fiber. And what is the reason? We are just keeping away the peels off, and we are just getting onto the pulpy stuff of any ingredient that we are going ahead with. So that peel thing is where you get your good fibers from. So that's the reason for the most of the fruits and vegetables, we don't try to be away from its fiber or the peels. But of course, what is important here is that you wash them really well. So what is the technique to wash your ingredients? I mean, there are two ways. One, you get in touch in your local area. If you know somebody who are like small vendors doing good work in supplying you these organic fruits and vegetables, it's a very good idea to spend a little more and be engaged with these people for your foods that you're consuming raw, because we don't want any chemicals and pesticides entering our body through these sources. If at all we do not have these sources, the other option is you wash them really well. Good ways of washing: one, you can use either vinegar, any vinegar, like normal synthetic vinegar, or an apple cider vinegar, or salt. So these are like about 80% of your additives that go onto the peels of the whatever ingredients you're choosing get cleared off if you keep immersed your vegetables and fruits, or whatever ingredients you're using as a part of your smoothie, in a bucket of warm water for about 10 minutes. In some of the cases, you really need to be particular that you should not be dipping them for a longer time, specifically the finer ones like green leafy vegetables or softer fruits and vegetables. Why? Because their vitamins and minerals are very easy to be leached out from their sources. So you have to see what is working for you. Like for the softer ones, you keep a little lesser time. For me, what I generally prefer doing is I keep a natural brush with me. So for the ones which have these sturdy kind of peels, I just try to kind of rub them well with that brush, so that I don't have to keep it for long in the water. Still, whatever is on top of it just gets removed. So these are some good practices that you can go ahead with when you get onto smoothie way of life. But the major difference, of course, coming back to what is the difference between smoothie and juice. In juices, it is good for certain people for specific health conditions, and depending what kind of ingredients you are using. If you are going high on fruits specifically for juicing, it's not a very good idea, for the simple reason that the fruits are whatever, like they have these vitamins and minerals. They're of course very, very healthy for us, but the biggest problem with these fruits is that they are also very high on sugars. So if you're not consuming sugar, if you're off sugar but you are very high on vegetables, you are unknowingly increasing your intake of sugars even more than what you have would have been doing previously through the refined sugars that you may have been taking. So you have to be very judicious when it comes to choosing your fruits in the right way, in the right form, and the quantities. It's very, very important. Juicing, of course, we do not recommend for this reason. But if you are going ahead with vegetable juices, that's a good idea. Why? Because vegetable juices one, they are very, very nourishing. Secondly, they're very highly alkalizing, and thirdly, these do not have the kind of sugars that the fruits do have. So when it comes to juices, it's good for very few people who are maybe healing from certain kind of health conditions, or who've gone through some have some weak kind of tendencies and are wanting to gain weight, and for such people. But for normal people, fruit juice is not recommended much. Coming back to smoothies, why smoothies is a better option than juices? For various reasons. One, we are not wasting anything, which means we as humans are whole. Like we cannot say that my heart is out of me, or my digestive system is out of me, or my lungs are out of me. Everything is a part of me. Everything comes together to form me. Similarly for these fruits and vegetables. So like just try to look at human composition also. It is only when all these organs inside me come together is where I am functioning completely right. So if I take out for any chance, like for the people who get operated for certain organ removals, like gallbladder isn't there, or kidneys get out, or whatever, like of course the health conditions are there. We are not getting into that, but your body does compromise on its functionality when some part of you is out of you. And similarly, it goes the same with fruits and vegetables. And this is how we look at macrobiotics also. Like you consider what you as a whole, and you also consider the resources that you are using for yourself, for your health, for your wellness as a whole, and you use them as a whole as much as possible. Not for all, it may not be possible, but as much as possible. So similarly, when we are saying that we go ahead with using peels, it's the idea that we understand that pulp has a certain purpose, and peel also has a certain purpose. So when you're removing the peels out of your ingredients, probably you're also taking out some part of the functionality of that fruit and vegetable that may have some role to play inside the body. So the more you keep it whole, the more you are completing your own wholeness, the more it is benefiting you, the more it is creating you from the inside out. So that's one reason. The other reason, it is very high on fiber. Why do we need fiber? From the beauty perspective, fiber is something that, of course, it helps you lose weight, but fiber is something that will keep your internals intact. Like, if you have a lot of toxins inside the body, it is fiber that will bind all that toxins and push it out of the body. If you are high on weight, it is fiber that will try to kind of, once your system starts to push out a lot of toxins, and when I say toxins, high blood sugar levels is also a toxin for you. Like excess glucose moving on inside the body is a toxin for you. Fiber will try pulling it out of the body. Then if you have a lot of toxins, maybe the dead blood cells or the dead cells that our body is kind of shedding all the time, how do they get out? They also get out through the bloodstream. But if there is no push or there is no source that these toxins get out of the body, then the system is stuck. This is what kind of starts to accumulate inside the body, and this is where you start to get all those conditions, whether it be on your skin or your body, on your hair, or degenerative health conditions, lifestyle disorders, or whatever. So everything starts with an unclean body is what I'm trying to say, and fiber is the only source that will start to clean an unclean body. And that's the reason why smoothies is kind of one of the best sources to start cleaning yourself up and start to living this lifestyle. Not just that I do it for 10 days because I am on a detox and then I get back onto my old ways. You again have to look at yourself from a holistic perspective, and from this perspective also. Your body is kind of eliminating all the time. From the day we are born till the day we are there, which is our last day, our body is always eliminating in some form, whether it be a sweat or through our elimination channels or through sweating or whatever. So the more you support your body in the process of elimination is where you are not just safeguarding your life, your health, your beauty or your skin or whatever. So this is where the key lies in. So that's why fiber gets important there, and it also supports your gut health. Like there is a lot of focus nowadays on good gut bacteria, right? Now this good gut bacteria needs some base to thrive on. What is that base? That base is fiber. So fiber is when it comes to holistic functions inside the body, from the cleaning perspective, from the perspective of helping you lose weight, from the perspective of keeping you active and more energetic, there is no better, I would say, nutrient than fiber. Modern science doesn't consider fiber as a nutrient because it's more of a bulk that starts to push out a lot of things out of your body. But in holistic sphere, we do look at fiber as a very important nutrient. So that's the third reason why we should be high on smoothies. And the fourth reason is that this is something for your self-reflection. If I give you a full plate of spinach along with some mint leaves, along with some coriander leaves, along with some kale, or along with some Swiss chard, whatever, whatever leaves, seasonal produces that I have available with you, and I tell you that you're supposed to eat this full plate of green leaves, raw, like nothing added to it, and just complete it if you really want to be healthy. How many of us can do that? None of us can do that, right? But so smoothie actually makes it very easier for us to consume all these raw stuff which we cannot consume otherwise. Like apart from some salady things like cucumbers and tomatoes and onions and red bell peppers or yellow bell peppers, some selected few which we can actually have in the form of raw salads. We of course include that, but other than that, some of the good ingredients that we cannot have raw, there is no other third way of consuming them, because our body, let alone our body, even our body might just accept it, but our taste buds would not accept it. So this is where smoothies have a huge role to play, because about 70 to 80% of your spread coming from these green leafy vegetables, and about 20 to 25 or 30% of your spread coming from your fruits and vegetables, when combined together, adds taste, adds fiber, adds vitamins, minerals, phytochemicals, enzymes. I mean, host of nutrients that for years and years and years we just don't ingest, only for various reasons. We may not be consuming these ingredients because we cannot consume them raw. That could be one of the reasons. Another reason could be of course, a lot of people are just not okay with the raw stuff, and the kind of modern diets that we have kind of played around with our taste buds so much that even if we wish, we are not able to sustain with that. So smoothie is one way that will help you sustain with this kind of a lifestyle. So these are some of the reasons why smoothies can help you, and what the difference between juices and smoothies. Having said that, there is there is nothing wrong or right between whether should I be more on smoothies or whether should I be more on juices. It actually depends upon where you stand right now in your specific journey. If you're very weak, of course, smoothies along with juices will be a very good combination for you. If you're high on weight and you're actually wanting to lose weight, in that case juices would be something that you can just keep at bay, because that can add a lot of like specifically the fruit juices can add a lot of sugar to your body, and which we don't want. So both are good, but then depending what is your specific condition, you really need to make a judicious choice between what I should be using and what I should not be using. So this is about what is the difference. Now another question that when I introduce smoothies, to my clients also, they become very like a lot of people are not very open to this idea of consuming everything raw and blending, and what is this, like completely raw and nothing being added into it and all that. Of course, as I said, it is a lifestyle, it is an adapted taste. It is not something that will taste like a pizza or something that will taste like a burger or a pasta or whatever. You really have to get yourself used to it, but you can definitely add the tastes to it, and this is where your creativity comes into the picture. Of course, I'll be talking of the combinations that you can make with experiment with yourself and see what combination works best for you. And then even if you chart out say 2 or 3 combinations for yourself, then you need not keep thinking what next combination. Even if you have 2-3 combinations and keep experimenting with these for a few months or years, that's perfectly okay. The only idea is that all that stuff should be going inside the body for specific reasons, for health reasons, and also if internally things are working fine, automatically what shows on the outside is going to be of a very, very good quality, and this is where your skin also builds up from the inside. So okay, so why do we need a smoothie for weight loss or for a radiant skin or for a clear skin? Various reasons for this. So up till now we've talked of smoothie from the perspective of health. I will try to dive a little more deeper into why smoothie specifically from your skin perspective. And when I am speaking of skin, it includes everything, not just about dull skin or acne or specific chronic skin conditions that we face in today's times, eczema, psoriasis, or any kind of skin condition, aging, wrinkles, pigmentation, whatever you can think of the broad category. Everything becomes inclusive of whatever I'm talking right now. Also your hair health. Why? Because when you're working on these smoothies, it's actually working on cleansing your bloodstream. So if your bloodstream is clear, is where you are working on transporting all that nutrition and oxygen to your hair follicles. So your hair follicles or your hair strength is as strong as the nutrient and the oxygen that is reaching to your hair follicles. So this is where the key for hair health also lies, which means if we are looking for those specific one product miracles, if we are going for these treatments or whatever, these may help you to a certain extent, but these are not long lasting, and we've seen that time and again, and it happens with all of us. It doesn't work for a very long time, simply because it is all being created from inside. The roots are getting weaker. These are getting weaker because your internals are blocked. Your internals are blocked maybe because you are not making right choices from the food perspective or from lifestyle perspective. Maybe your your blood vessels have these accumulations inside, internal accumulations, which are narrowing the passage of blood vessels. So even if the nutrients and oxygen is passing through your blood vessels, the amount that your hair follicles need is not being supplied to your hair follicles. And this is why smoothie becomes also very, very important for your hair health also, simply because we just talked of fiber, right? And fiber is the element or the nutrient which will clean your body of whatever plaque accumulations you have throughout the body anywhere inside. So that's one of the reasons. Secondly, smoothies specifically for the people who are on a weight loss program or are wanting to lose some weight. For them, smoothies comes across definitely as a boon. Why? Because it's very low on calories. So which means, imagine something, you start your day with a say somewhere around 300 or 500 ml of a smoothie, which is like this big jar of a smoothie, which makes you full, which makes you feel energetic, which doesn't make you feel hungry, and which also makes you feel very good about yourself, very light about yourself, and you don't feel like having your breakfast in the morning. There cannot be anything better coming to you as a breakfast like a smoothie for this reason only. Why? Because it is very low on calories. So even if you're consuming say 500 ml of smoothie for whatever ingredients. I'll talk of the ingredients later, but let's just assume that it's a smoothie of 70% green leafy vegetables, 70 to 80% green leafy vegetables, depending what kind of cleanse are you wanting for yourself, and 20% ingredients are about the specific fruits, or if you don't want to go ahead with fruits, some specific vegetables, these coming together. And this is where you're filling yourself in. Your body is happy because it's onto the path or process of cleansing itself from inside. It is happy because the toxins, as they start to leave you, you start to feel very, very light and very energetic. Thirdly, your need for breakfast is gone. So it, like, in Indian households, it's very common to have these oily based mornings, breakfast items in the morning. It could be maybe what do you call, aloo parathas, or even if it is porridges, or even if it is poha or whatever, like, some element of fat definitely goes in our breakfast every single day. Now this for the mornings, if we go by the Ayurveda way of understanding our body and how we should be consuming foods, our breakfast should be very, very light. It should be high prana breakfast, which imparts us that positive or that high kind of energy, so that we are able to sustain through the day, and we have that light quality to our energy, so that we are able to perform whatever tasks we are supposed to do in the morning. So again, this has happened with me for a very, very long time before I got into all this stuff. Because of the breakfast, I never realized that it used to be so heavy that by the time I used to be off to work, my thinking capacity was like very low. I used to feel very sleepy and tired and fatigued and no energy, and even if I wanted to work, but somewhere my body and mind wasn't in sync with what I wanted to do. And over time, when I got onto this way of life, 10 years of experience working with the clients, and I actually realized how, when you switch off from that heavy stuff and move on to light stuff, and light stuff does not mean that you have to consume less, it means that you have to consume the right ingredients, fill yourself with the right stuff, which is low on calories, which is low on glycemic load, which is high on fiber, is where you will get everything that your body needs from the cleanse perspective, from feeling good perspective, from energy perspective, and you will be saved from having that heavy stuff, which may be one of the hindrance for you right now when it comes to working after having a heavy meal. And we all relate to this kind of a feeling. Even if it is a very heavy lunch, for next half an hour or 1 hour, we really don't want to get back to work. We don't have that energy. We feel very sleepy and lethargic and tired. So this is where smoothie helps you be more energetic. And as I initially, when I started the session, I mentioned, the fifth dimension under Swarasya that we talk about from beauty inside out perspective is the energy aspect. And this is one aspect that we don't take control of or care of. We just don't know about this aspect at all. And it's so amazing and surprising to see how Westerners have kind of taken the Indian concepts and included this concept of energy in their way of life. And they are they now understand what these concepts do actually mean for your body and for your health and for your appearance, whatever you talk about it. So and these are the concepts which have always been there for last 5,000 years, whether you talk of Ayurveda or you talk of yogic sciences, whether you talk of traditional Chinese medicine, all these concepts have been there. But as science evolved, we have moved away or moved on from these concepts, more on towards living more scientifically validated concepts, which is very important. Of course, it is definitely a backing to whatever whatever Ayurveda is saying or whatever yoga is saying. But then when we do not understand the right aspects, or these aspects of what helps us build our energy, rather than thinking or being more into what builds my muscles, what kind of protein is the one that will help me build my body, or what kind of carbs will make me get off that weight or carbs. So so all these things actually come together when you think of food from the beauty perspective. You really have to see what is working for your energy, rather than seeing what is working for your muscles, what is working for your standalone for your skin, what is working standalone for your digestive system, or all these aspects. So when you talk of specifically from the smoothie perspective, all these aspects that I'm talking about from the ancient perspective, whether you talk of energy, whether you talk of that cooling aspect of your body, whether you talk of cleansing from the inside, whether you talk of feeling light, whether you talk of your skin getting clear, you get the benefits of all of it coming together in one single package of a 500 ml of that smoothie jar that you may be consuming every single day, starting your day with the smoothie. Now that brings us to another important aspect. Why and specifically if you've been watching my profile and account on a regular basis, I very highly recommend that you start your day with a smoothie. And a lot of us are very hooked to or used to starting our day with a coffee or a tea. So even if we are following a very good diet, but we really want to start our day with a coffee or a tea. Now, I would not get into much of detail of how it makes a difference to you for now, but just to kind of touch base on this aspect, when we start our day with a coffee or a tea or with any kind of a stimulant, like the common stimulants for Indian common household Indian scenarios are tea and coffee. So when you're high on tea and coffee early in the morning, even if it is once a day for you, what have you done? You've added a lot of acidity to your body. So there are two concepts to health. One is the acidic composition of your body, and one is the alkaline composition of your body. So when we are talking of smoothie, it is very alkaline. So most probably I'll be doing another session on acid and alkalinity. I'll not get into much of details, but just to kind of relate it to the smoothie aspect, the alkaline smoothie is alkaline and tea and coffee is acidic. What is the difference between starting your day in an alkaline way or an acidic way? When you start your day on an acidic note, you are automatically bringing down your body's capability to cleanse. So if your body has a lot of acid, the entire focus of the body shifts more towards dealing with the added acid that you have added to your body, which means the body may have a chance to work on the acid which is already accumulated inside the body if you support it with alkaline intake inside the body. But since you start your morning with a tea or a coffee, whatever goes in is kind of pouring in another level of acid inside the body. So the focus of the body, what body will do, it will not take care of what is already there inside the body and try to clean what is there. Rather, what it will do is it will start to work on whatever has recently gone. And it's something like we buy a new stuff, and then the older stuff that we have, or older favorites that we have, we just don't want to look at that, and we just want to experiment or see or play around with the new stuff that we've just ordered. It's the similar story with whatever foods that you keep putting in on top of it. The body's focus on cleaning whatever is there goes goes away, and whatever new has gone in, the focus shifts there. So when you are adding tea and coffee, the focus of the body then gradually shifts on to digesting, to processing whatever is added in, whether it be a cookie or a biscuit or a tea or a coffee inside the body. And so this is from a very layman perspective, but from your body functionality perspective, it directly goes and hits your nervous system. So that is the reason you immediately feel very awakened and good in the morning when you have a tea or coffee, because it immediately stimulates your nervous system. So stimulation of nervous system is like feeling very fresh and having all the energy and feeling active, just trying to you have all that power to start your day, which you may not have if you don't start your day with a tea or coffee. But we really need to understand this is an artificial kind of a stimulation. If it is a tea or a coffee, it is an artificial kind of stimulation. So and another experience that I would want to share with you, specifically from the tea and coffee perspective. So in our yogic community, so I'm very deeply connected with the yoga world, and a lot of my concepts come from the yogic community. So in yogic way of life, modern science does tell you that tea has these nutrients or these many good elements or these phytochemicals or whatever, which is absolutely right. We are not debating on that. And tea and even coffee has been researched to be high on some specific phytochemicals and all that, which is absolutely true. We are not again debating on that. But in the yogic community, we actually don't we think a way ahead, because we think from the energy perspective. We don't think from the muscle building perspective, neither from calorie perspective. We think of the body from the energy perspective. That is the big word in the yogic community. So when you think of energy, the source of your energy, or the wiring system inside the body that is responsible for making your energy be optimal, is your nervous system. And nervous system should ideally not be stimulated with the artificial ingredients. It should be worked upon in a way that you kind of stimulate it in a natural way. So the stimulation of the nervous system in a natural way is all about yogasanas and meditation and these breathing practices, and specifically your your spine is the route for your energy transmission through the body upside down. But it's a separate in a separate context. Again, I'll try doing the session on this thing also. But coming back to the energy, so when we talk of energy from the yogic perspective and from the dietary perspective, tea and coffee directly artificially stimulates your nervous system. So what it will do is, something is sleeping, so something is just at rest, and you just consciously go and just poke them to make them just wake up or do whatever. So they might be half asleep and half awake, but since you woke them up, they will wake up and they'll start the work, but they'll be very irritated, right? So and this generally happens with small kids, like small babies. They're off to sleep, and then you just kind of break their sleep. They will be up, but they'll be very cranky. And so this is what happens with the nervous system also. Like, it wants a gentle stimulation, it wants our body to be clean, it wants that transmission to happen really properly, and that is only possible when the body is clean from inside. So if we have a lot of toxins, the communication through the nervous system, those impulses become really disrupted, and that's where the hormonal changes also start to happen. Hormones get impacted there. So when we have tea and coffee, it is doing the same thing, like disturbing that sleeping child that will wake up. Of course, it will do its work, and it will be a little irritated. It will definitely do its work, but it will not be in its complete senses, that capability, 100% capability to be available for work or whatever you like doing, or for whatever is there for the day. And by the end of the day, you end up, like, when the crash just goes down, you end up feeling even more tired. You become more cranky. You're completely energyless. Whatever energy you had gained through that tea and coffee, after a certain while, immediately you get a drop. The way you get a high, similarly you get a drop. And this up and down, complete up and down regularly becomes a vicious cycle for us, day in and day out, every single day. This is where the imbalances also start to happen. This is where maybe 10 years later, or 15 years later, or even 20 years later, you might be diagnosed with nervous disorders, or maybe emotional upside downs, depression, low phases, and all this. So not that this is the only cause, but this also adds on to all those emotional ups and downs that we're talking about. That's the reason in a yogic way of life, in an Ayurvedic way of life, and also in macrobiotic way of life, we do not use tea and coffee as stimulants. We use yogic practices as the nervous stimulants. So that's another reason why I should not be starting our day with the tea and coffee. And alternatively, if we start our day with a smoothie, now what is smoothie doing to us? One, it is very, very alkaline. It's completely the opposite of what tea and coffee is, which is highly acidic. This is highly alkaline. If I have to just give one word to how you can make sure that you are ageless for next 20 years or 30 years or whatever time you want, see for yourself, your entire focus has to be alkalizing yourself. And this alkalizing does not happen in a day. It is not a 3 months project. It is not a 10-day project. It is not a 1-year project. It is a lifestyle. So you adopt this. Even if you don't like it, gradually you figure out ways for yourself to see how you can incorporate this as a lifestyle for yourself, rather than not doing it at all. So coming back to the smoothie, it adds a lot of alkalinity to your body. Now this alkalinity, very broadly, if I have to explain you, it's the ideal working environment inside the body. It is something like when computer systems came in somewhere around 1980s or something, the computers had to be in an AC environment only, otherwise they would not work. So this is the kind of environment that was much required for a computer system to work. You could not keep these computer systems in a non-AC environment at all. Now it's something similar analogy when it comes to alkalinity inside the body. Our body works in a very optimal fashion, where for years we keep our energy levels sustained, we keep our skin health sustained, we keep our health sustained, we are very energetic. And then over years, disease is something that we are very away from, like during seasonal changes also, or otherwise. A lot of people might be falling sick, but we will not. Why? Because if your body is alkaline, it is the environment where your body is working completely in a very coordinated manner. And it is not just one system that is working in a coordinated manner. Your digestive system is happy when you're alkaline. your respiratory system is very happy when you're alkaline. Your liver is very, very happy when you're alkaline, because it doesn't have much toxicity to process. If you're alkaline, your elimination system is even more happy. Why? Because you're eliminating to a very what do you call, a very good level. Like it's like, complete evacuation of your colon, which hardly any one of us faces in today's times, because of the kind of foods, lifestyle, emotions, sedentary lifestyle. Everything plays a huge role on not making us eliminate completely or properly. So even if I have to say that a lot of us are constipated on a regular basis, even if we are we do have a morning schedule, still there is a possibility we may not be eliminating 100%. And how do you feel that? You feel that in the heaviness that you may be having throughout the day. You feel in your moods, you feel it in any kind of breakouts that you see on your skin. So our body has to eliminate from the right channel. If it doesn't eliminate from the right channel, it will still eliminate. It will not keep it inside, because if it keeps it inside, then the body cannot function right. Then the body will become toxic. And so that way our body keeps us sustained, going and going and going, by compromising on if we are not providing the right environment to the body will find out its own way. So another way that it will find out is eliminating through the skin, giving you a lot of breakouts, giving you a lot of pigmentation issues, giving you a lot of wrinkles, specifically very dry inside. Then you will end up having a lot of wrinkles or aging, quick aging kind of issues. So this is where smoothie actually helps you a lot, because at the base level, at the root level, irrespective of whatever skin condition or health condition you may have, the very first thing is, as I told you, it's about you are accumulating a lot of toxins, a lot of garbage inside the body. The moment you work on eliminating all that garbage out of the body, you will see a lot of things will holistically start to change, because as I said, alkalinity is about cleanliness or clean environment inside the body. So clean environment from all the perspectives. Your digestive system is very clean, there are no mucus accumulations. Your colon is clean, there is no excess feces accumulated in your colon. Your liver is working only as much as it should be working. No excess toxicity is therein, so that the liver overworks and then becomes weaker. Your lungs are expelling carbon dioxide in a very efficient way, which doesn't happen in a normal scenario. We are not very good breathers. It only happens when you get strenuous onto yogic practices or breathing practices. Even if everything is all right, like we are following a very good diet and lifestyle, still it has been my experience for last 10 years, unless you actually see the difference. Like when you go ahead with a very strenuous kind of a yoga practice, just one session can actually make you realize how different your breathing is when you were not doing it, and just one session how it made a difference to you. So it's that powerful. So it's your elimination channels have to just keep pushing whatever is in and day out. It is not a 3 months plan, it is not again a 10-day plan. It is a complete lifestyle again, I would say. So this is where smoothie is actually helping you. Okay, so we at Swarasya we call this so we have a staple recipe that we worked on, which we call Pranic Beauty smoothie recipe. Why Pranic Beauty? Why? Because as I told you, the fifth dimension that I just talked about, which is energy. So this aspect or level of energy, or this kosha of energy, starts from the outside, kind of passes all the levels that we've talked about: physical, mental, emotional, and then it reaches to a stage which is the deepest, most aspect of you, which is your energetic aspect. Everything is energy. You look at foods, they are giving you specific kind of energy. You look at specific emotions, even they are energy. Like if you are being loved, you feel a different energy around you. You want to go ahead and do things. So everything is about, in universe, everything is energy. Nature's elements, morning hours, your practices, activities, whatever you choose to do for yourself, everything at the very root level boils down to energy. So and that's the reason we talk of beauty from a very deep level, and that's why we call it Pranic Beauty way of life, or Pranic Smoothie we call it. But the staple recipe, we've kind of figured out, maybe I'll just try giving you a recipe, though it's there on our website also. You can just check out our website, you'll see the link there, or even on Instagram also, on our link tree we've posted the recipe there. You can just have a take it from there also. But that's a little more ingredients. I'll just try giving you a simpler version of whatever we've posted there. So it starts with about 75 to 80% of green leafy vegetables. Spinach, I would say it's a very good addition to your smoothie, but then don't overdo it. About 3 to 4 times a week is good enough. Apart from that, you need to you can just keep rotating your greens, like whatever is seasonal, and be very, very sure to wash it well, or be very sure to have it from the right sources. That's very, very important, even if it means paying a little extra and being in touch with some local producers who are working on some good stuff. You can just tie up with them or whatever. So this is what even I've done with specifically for my greens. Even if I have to pay higher, I don't mind that, but then I'll make sure that these are the best quality that I can get in my area. So about 75 to 80% you take your green leafy vegetables. It could be spinach, it could be coriander, it could be kale, it could be Swiss chard, it could be even amaranth leaves. Like I guess we are about to get into a season where there'll be a lot of different colored amaranth leaves. It's a very good addition. Then your even that mustard leaves, like that would happen in winters, of course, but then you can keep rotating all these different greens that come your way seasonally. So that's very important. And then wash them really well. Then the other another addition from the vegetable perspective is you can have half a cucumber and one apple or half apple, depending what quantity are you wanting for yourself. Though vegetable and fruit is not a good combination for smoothies, not at all. Like you should not be combining, but there are certain exceptions there. Apple and cucumber is something that's very versatile that you can play around with. So if you're doing a fruit smoothie, adding a little cucumber is okay. That will not hamper your that food combination will not hamper your digestion much. But other than those sturdy vegetables or other kinds of vegetables do have some implications when you join them with the fruits. But cucumber is a good one, lemon is a good one. You can join it with your fruits. So this is what we've tried doing. About 75 to 80% is the green leafy vegetables. We do add one lemon with the peel. Lemon peel is much more powerful than lemon. It's a very strong stimulant for the liver, and if liver has all the energy to process the toxicity, and over time when you keep doing it continuously for 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, 1 year, automatically a lot of toxicity will be out of your body, and that's where you will see your liver health will start to get much better, your moods will start to get much better, your energy levels will be much better, your skin will start to clean out a lot. And this is just with one addition that we are doing in the morning every single day, getting off tea and coffee and adding a smoothie in your diet in the morning. That's it. So I guess Ashwini is asking about what about pineapple. Yes, you see, okay, so how I would put it across is, again, it depends on condition to condition. If you are a healthy person, if you are just wanting to maintain yourself from the beauty perspective, then playing around with different kinds of fruits and vegetables is a very good idea, because then you're bringing together a host of different ingredients that are also different nutrients coming together. So the more your body is exposed to different kinds of nutrients is where your body is becoming having more strength. All these nutrients from different perspective are definitely helping different parts of the body to come together and work in a coordinated manner. But for the people specifically who are up to losing weight, for them vegetables with fruits which are high on glycemic loads, like mangoes or banana or grapes or chiku or even pineapple, so papaya, all these fruits may not be a very good idea. Not that you cannot at all do it, but then maybe not doing it more than once or twice a week is a good idea. Then in that case you stick to more to apples and pears and apricots, and now we have the season of pears. It's a very good addition. It's a very low GI fruit and very high fiber, so that's a very good addition to your smoothies. And one lemon, as I told you, because you really want your liver to start working and start to cleanse a lot out of your body, and this is where you will start to get rid of a lot of toxicity. This is where if your liver is good, your skin is good. There's a direct connect between how your skin shows up and how your liver functions. So but initially when you get onto a smoothie, some cleanse symptoms you might see. So if you have acne, you will see it may or may not happen, but for a lot of people it may also happen. If you are prone to a lot of acne, or if you have a lot of toxins inside the body, your symptoms will go high for a certain time. Like if you have acne, the acne breakout will become way more higher, and this has happened to a lot of my clients also, and they become really apprehensive. What are we doing? Like we came to kind of heal ourselves, and this is that there's a burst of things happening to us which wasn't there earlier. So that kind of a counseling, I have to go ahead and work with them, telling them that you have to live with it. If you really want to clean yourself, whatever you're holding in has to come out, and when it comes out, it will definitely give you some symptoms, something like when you go off smoking habit, you have those elimination symptoms. It's the similar case. Those toxins, when they are in bulk coming out of the body, somewhere that implication will happen, but that's a very short term phase. maybe for some people it lasts for 2 days, somewhere between 7 to 10 days, but 10 days is a like very rare case if you're very, very toxic. Somewhere between 3 to 4 days is where a lot of people settle down onto, where things start to change for them. So yeah, so this is precise. And okay, so the combination, the smoothie recipe that I was talking about, it's about 70 to 80% green leafy vegetables, half a cucumber or 1 cucumber depending. I keep 1 cucumber because my mornings are all about smoothies. I don't add any breakfast or that stuff. It's like brunch, kind of a pattern that I follow. And then one apple is a good idea with the peel, preferably green apple is even better, but then you make sure that the kind of apple that you are having doesn't have any wax coating or all that, which is difficult to find. But then only if you find it, keep your peel on for the apple, otherwise remove it, because it's one of those 12 dirty dozens that which is very high on preservatives and toxicity, so we don't want that. But when apples are in season, you get, so I mean, this is something that's again my personal experience. In the season when apples are there, I would not gravitate towards the very shiny ones or the best looking ones. I consciously look for the ones which are very dirty, which have those those marks on them, which are like growing marks, like some dryness somewhere, and because I know these would not be coated, so we really have to change our perspective of looking at what to buy and what not to buy. So but that's for the season. When off season, then we don't have much of a choice because most of them are coated, wax coated. And then you add 1 lemon to it, adding a little bit of ginger if you're not very high on acidic load. Like if you don't have those acidic feelings, then ginger is a good idea, because ginger moves things inside. So if you have you're holding a lot of stuff, ginger will start moving it out. It has that warming warming kind of energy that will help flow your blood, and if your blood also flows, a lot of toxins also start to come out with that flow of the blood. So ginger is optional, you can add that. And if you want, like if you're looking for some flavors to it, then herbs is a very good idea, like fresh herbs or dried herbs, whatever you want. Fresh herbs and herbs are way more nutritious than the fruits and vegetables we have. So even if it is 2 or 3 leaves of herbs, you'll have that kind of a nutrient component what you will have from this one full bunch of green leafy fruits or vegetables. So there's some good ones are basil, tulsi is a very good addition, and these also add taste to your smoothies. Then rosemary is a good one, thyme. So we do get a lot of herbs these days, like fresh herbs. But then you have to see like what tastes work well for you, what is available in your area. But a good idea is to keep rotating. Again, don't stick with one item every single day. Just have 3 or 4 combinations made for yourself, basis whatever we've discussed today, and then you can just keep rotating every 3 or 4 days, just doing that rotational combination that you're coming up with. You can also use these dry herbs, which is cinnamon. I use a lot. Cinnamon is specifically for the people who are very high on blood sugar levels. Cinnamon is adding cinnamon to your blood, your smoothies is a very good idea. It also brings down your blood sugar levels, which also means it does help with your weight loss efforts also. So that's a very good idea. Yeah, I guess that's all I had for smoothies today. So I guess we have some 3, 4 or 5 minutes maximum. So if you have any questions, you can just put it on the comment. I will try answering those. Okay, so I don't see any. I guess there was just one question from Ashwini, which was about pineapple. I've already answered that. Yeah, so this is about smoothies. I would just highly recommend, like if you are not on to smoothies right now, it's a very, very good idea. If you really want to see holistic changes happening to you, just try it once. It's as I said, it's an adaptive thing. It will not happen to you in a day. You might not like the taste also, but then you can keep experimenting with the options that we've just discussed. Having herb inclusions is a very good idea, like that changes the taste of the entire thing. To begin with, if you're not able to add that much of fruits and green leafy vegetables, because that might feel a little raw, in that case, it initially, just to begin with, it's a very good idea to keep 50-50 ratio, so that you become used to it. Once you become used to it, then you can gradually start declining the ratio, like going low on fruits and vegetables and keeping more of green leafy vegetables. So that's how you can just keep experimenting with it. Ideals, okay, Ashwini asks, ideal smoothie for change of season. Okay, see, for change of season, again, it's a very broad topic. I'll try covering that also, but very broadly, if we look at it, in winters, it is not a very good idea to have smoothies as long as your body is not strengthened enough. So give yourself 1 year at least where you practice this way of life, where you work on your diet and lifestyle, so that your incidences of falling sick and ill over time go low. and then after a year your body majorly is ready for experimenting with these smoothies in winters also. But in winters, okay, the ingredients that you can use is seasonal. So if I have to give you one word, it's basically seasonal. So your green leaf choices change. It becomes more of mustard and methi leaves, or all these, not in much quantity but lesser quantity, and these are also very warming, which means even if you're consuming it at a room temperature, inside the body it's lending you that warmth, so it is not making you colder from the inside, so which is a good idea. So when you look for these combinations, a very good idea to see what is seasonal. I guess that's the only one powerful tip that I can give you. For summers, hydrating foods is a very good idea, like cucumbers, coconut water. You can add coconut water to your smoothies, and tomatoes is a very good idea, it's very hydrating. So all these juicy fruits and vegetables are a very good idea in summers. In winters, it's more of sturdy and more of leafy greens, which are more of the seasonal ones. Okay, so there's another question is, can we use banana daily in our smoothies? You can use banana. It's a very nutritious food. In modern way of looking at it, we try being away from banana for specific reasons. But if you are high on weight, in that case, don't use banana, because banana is high on it has high GI load, it is high on calories, so you don't want that to add kind of more weight to yourself with the banana. But if you initially, to begin with it, for initial 15 to 20 days or 1 month, if you are going to start from the scratch right now, in that case it's not a bad idea to start banana also, because banana does add that creamy texture to your smoothie, so it becomes easy for you and becomes palatable, like you start to like the taste. So you can do that, but then if weight is a concern, that we try to be away from banana for a certain time. Can we add Karela in smoothies? Karela, don't add Karela in your smoothies. Karela it's more of a medicinal vegetable. It's always good to have Karela in a juice form, and that too a very small quantity, maybe a shot or something. Not you don't need a very high quantity of Karela. And don't have Karela in winters. Karela is very cooling, so we don't have. So for specifically for the ones who are very high on joint pains, and if they use a lot of Karela or all these cooling vegetables in winters specifically, it might just aggravate the pains and aches in the body. So but during this transition phase, like when we are moving from winters to summer, something like a time frame of March, April and all that, so that time is good. Then you can use Karela, and specifically in a juice form, not in a smoothie form, not required. So okay, I guess that's all that we had. We don't have any other questions, so I guess we are already up by 1 minute. I'll wind up the session today, but I seriously look forward to having you all for our future sessions also, because we are just trying to create awareness about how beauty is an inside out aspect, and we'll be covering a lot of topics so this is just one of the topics that we've picked from the nourish dimension, but then we'll be talking of all these dimensions. Some part of it we've already covered in our workshops, which are very detailed workshops. Like I would highly recommend, please go and check it out. If ageless or getting to the root of what creates your beauty is on your agenda, this will completely change your way of thinking about how you should be living your life, or living a certain way from all the aspects, like physical, mental, emotional, spiritual, everything we've tried to cover in there. But we'll try getting deeper into all these concepts with other sessions that we do. Okay, great. So thank you so much for being there. I am just winding up the session now, and looking forward to have you for our future sessions also. Thank you so much.